Yeezy's is reported to be worth $1.3 billion. And when a man has that much power, you know he's gonna spend just a little bit of that dinero on some ridiculous cars. Kanye's collection is as flashy, eccentric, and as insane as the man himself. From a bomb-proof SUV to a few cars that are worth over $3 million. Can you guess what Yeezy is driving?
Good morning.
Smash the sub button, turn on that notification bell, and get ready to see all of Yeezy's car collection. Regardless of what you think of Mr. West as a fashion designer, yeah, that ratty shirt is $2,600, by the way. That makes sense why Yeezy's worth $1.3 billion. And I think it's pretty clear that he should have stuck to designing clothes after you see what he did to his Lamborghini URUS SUV. The base model URUS is designed to merge the performance of a supercar with the practicality of an SUV, which sounded a lot like my Tinder profile. And just look at this beast. Lamborghini nailed it on that. It's gorgeous. And it stayed gorgeous until Kanye got his hands on it. It looks like Ye gave his $200,000 Lambo to some high school kid with no money and just let him have his way with it. It looks like it's plastered with some beige primer paint and fitted with some wheels that are more suited for the dinner table than an exotic car. And the worst part, I guess Kanye really wanted to touch the sky.
I'ma touch the sky, now let's take them high.
Because he put bright blue leather interior in there that the taste police should arrest him for. Oh, the classic color combo of tan cream paint with neon blue interior. Are you kidding me? Beautiful. Ugh. I mean, you think that as a successful fashion designer, Kanye would have a better idea on color theory. But I guess when you're that rich, you can just completely destroy a $200,000 rig. And well, you can't tell him nothing.
You can't tell me nothing.
Okay, so now that I got the hating out of my system, let's talk about one of Kanye's cars that has undeniable swagger. Like, it breaks your neck and everybody else's neck while it drives down the street. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the Bugatti VEYRON. The same VEYRON that Stradman just bought for $1 million. You go, James. And I think that the Bugatti is the coolest car in the stable for James and Kanye. And out of his whole collection, it's definitely the most expensive. And this thing is beyond sweet. If you don't know, the overpowered VEYRON hit the streets and redefined hypercars. And get this, it has a top speed of 267 miles per hour, and it'll crack 0 to 60 in 2.4 seconds. It's pretty obvious that when Kanye sings, he's talking about his VEYRON. And it is pretty cool that he bought his $3.5 million VEYRON to celebrate the birth of his first child. I guess he just wasn't really into minivans, huh? Over $3 million bucks. I mean, that's more than the $2 million loan that he got from the government to save his Yeezy brand. And it's pretty sad, but that is true. Go look it up. I applied for that same loan to save Ideal Media and I got goose eggs, but I guess the rich stay rich. And the price tag of the VEYRON is pretty heavy, but Kanye has one of the coolest cars ever made. And I think it's just one of those things that you buy as a top tier rapper because T-Pain, Drake, Jay-Z, Soulja Boy, and Lil Wayne are all rocking VEYRONs. And if there was ever a car that was meant to transport someone who thinks that they're God, the VEYRON is the chariot. Now, Kanye's next ride wasn't quite $3 million bucks, unless you consider that him and Kim got not one, but two of them. Yeah, when you're two of the world's most famous people, you gotta think about protecting yourself from paparazzi, haters, and explosions. And there's really only one rig on this planet that'll do all of that and more. The Prom Bron Red Diamond. Diamonds are forever. I don't know what I did with all the money for my singing lessons, but I didn't spend it on singing. But one thing I know being a presenter here at Ideal is that I am not rich and famous enough to even know that this rig even exists. And that's probably because it is the most expensive SUV ever built. I mean, it's an SUV, right? Or is it a tank? It's kind of both. See, YouTube girlfriend and I, we'll get like his and hers t-shirts or maybe even bath towels if I'm lucky. But when you're on Kim and Kanye's level, you get his and hers high performance armored SUVs that cost, well, a cool $1.25 million a piece. And I'm not gonna lie, it must be nice being able to afford the equivalent of a military tank draped in Rolls-Royce luxury. And this Prom Bron Iron Diamond is made by the Latvian manufacturer Darts Motors, who built these specific specifically for the Wests. And it is just littered with gold plating and full bulletproof windows. And get this, it can even take a blast from a landmine or a grenade that's sitting in the street and come out unscathed. Maybe they're a little afraid of Taylor Swift. And normally when you order a car, you get the option of like cloth or leather, but in the West case, they had their choice of snake, crocodile, or elephant skins, which is just absurd. And if that wasn't luxurious enough for you, when you buy one of these luxury tanks, you get a complimentary bottle of Russo Baltic vodka, which again, I've never heard of, but it is the most expensive vodka on the planet. And just guess how much you think a bottle of this goes for. Seriously, guess. $1,000 bucks? $10,000 bucks? $100,000 bucks? You're getting warmer. $750,000 for one bottle. So it's pretty much like you're buying this bottle of vodka and the tank's thrown in for free, right? But when you need to hide from the press, the prom brom is primo. But when you're living the good life and you want to throw your hands in the sky, you need the drop top Maserati. And you also need one of these ideal shirts, which you can snag up here. Yes, it won't make you as rich as Kanye and Yeezy, but it will make you look ideal. As for Kim and Kanye's Maserati GRANTURISMO convertible, this thing drops its top almost as quick as Kanye dropped his 2020 presidential bid. And if Kanye's spending is any indication of how he would handle the nation's finances, it's probably a really good thing that he dropped out of the race. See, the GRANTURISMO starts at a whopping $134,000, which when you compare to some of his other cars in his arsenal, really isn't all that much. But for any normal person like you and me, that costs way more than a house. And it's actually pretty crazy because Kanye drives this Maserati so little that he's never been photographed in it. It just shows you how much money Yeezy's got to blow on some fine automotives, because this Mazzy is a fine automobile. Even topless, the GRANTURISMO has 444 horsepower pumping out of that 4.7 liter, and it goes 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds. And I think I could speak for most all of us, this would be something that we'd be itching to drive every single day. But for Kanye, it's something that'll get around to one day. Maybe? I'm sure you can believe it that the GRANTURISMO isn't the only ride that the top's chopped off for Kanye. He's also got a super rare German drop top that he's clearly very fond of. You probably already know this, but Mercedes-Benz is by far the most mentioned brand in hip hop, and that is for very good reason. With sophisticated speed sleds like the SLR McLaren, Benz is definitely a brand that you want to be associated with. And someone that you want to be associated with when you're well, top tier rapper is Amber Rose. And Kanye was first seen driving a super rare SLR McLaren back when the pair was dating. Yes, their relationship did fizzle out, but his love affair with the SLR never waned. In fact, to this day, he's still pictured in the SLR McLaren all the time, and it is very easy to see why. I think everybody subscribed here at Ideal would be super fond of this James Bond-esque German supercar. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, because the SLR McLaren is getting rarer and rarer every single day, and we're getting closer and closer to 1 million subscribers every single day. And the price tag on the SLR is around $700,000. And that's partly because under the hood, you got a 5.4 liter V8, which helps propel this thing to 209 miles per hour. And if you mash the go pedal, 0 to 60 comes in 3.4 seconds, and you look fly doing it. And Kanye's love affair for Mercedes doesn't even stop there. He has one of the rarest Mercedes of all time, an SLR Sterling Moss, one of only 75 in existence. And this land missile costs Yeezy about $1 million brand new. And that is an ideal investment because it's now worth about 3 times that. This puppy puts out 650 horsepower, and it can escape the paparazzi in about 3.4 seconds. But the most interesting thing about the Sterling Moss, and this is something that until now I only thought was on Jeeps, is that it's got no windshield. I mean, can you even imagine driving down the highway at over 200 miles per hour, which you should never do, and nothing to protect your face?
Oh, you can't beat the open road.
But hey, this ride is all about style. And in the words of Kanye West, it's got the swag sauce, it's drippin' swagoo. The SLRs are fantastic cars to pilot yourself. But what about when Yeezy needs a break from driving? Well, for that, you get a Rolls Royce. But if you're Kanye, you get 2. A Rolls Royce is a staple of success, and having one says that you've made it. This brand has become synonymous with lavish luxury. So it's only right that Kim and Kanye should have at least one, if not more, in their garage. And their Phantom actually belonged to Kim before she began romantic endeavors with Mr. West. I wonder if that Starlight headliner had anything to do with it. But by the rights of marriage, it now half belongs to the hip hop mogul. And this highly coveted car starts at $450,000. And you probably already know this, but the reason why Rolls Royces are so expensive is that every single component is painstakingly assembled by hand. But the Phantom isn't just about comfort. It's got some serious chops too. You get a V12 engine, 563 horsepower, and an 8-speed transmission. And at a glance, yes, this car looks classy and cool. But you've been warned, this thing has some hidden fury under the hood. And like I said earlier, this ain't their only Rolls. They got one other Grim Reaper haunting the garage. It's a Ghost. The Rolls-Royce Ghost is the cheaper, more practical brother of the Phantom. Notice that I said cheaper. I definitely didn't say cheap. To capture this Ghost, you need at least $300,000. But like, if you already have a Phantom, what is that, pocket change that you find in between your seats? And this Ghost is also customized, as Kim decided to sprinkle her little touches on this already expensive, well, entry-level, extremely luxurious and expensive vehicle. And I guess when you're rich, that's what you do. You gotta show your solidified position as one of the world's rich and famous. And for a presenter here at Ideal, I just like to drive one like one time, and the mid-tier Ghost has all the class and style you expect from a Rolls, with that beautiful emblem and the straight-laced front grille, and just that simple, extravagant design language that no other manufacturer can match. Unless you're this next manufacturer, because it's also a symbol of wealth and luxury. One look at it will have you singing, "Welcome to the good life." Real talk. I don't even know how Kanye is still allowed to own a Maybach after what he and Jay-Z did in the music video for Otis. If you don't remember that video, I suggest you pause this one and go watch it now. The duo basically took a set of power tools to a brand new Maybach and ripped all of the doors and the roof off. I guess the only saving grace is the fact that they did auction this car off to support the recovery effort in East Africa, so that does make this travesty a little bit better, but watching that video definitely hurt my little heart. Anyways, Kanye has a new Maybach now, and this one is fully intact. And if I take you guys all the way back to 1909, Maybach was started by a father and son, and in 1960 was acquired by Mercedes-Benz. And that's when they took it and propelled it to the status of an ultra luxury brand, which has stood the test of time, and the legacy has continued on to today. And so, of course, it's found its way into Kanye's garage. And once you set eyes on that interior, it's got like a Cloud9-like interior that I think you could spend all day, all night in. Heck, I'd rather have that than a house. And the specs under the hood are way better than any dishwasher. And I think one of the things we've learned here is that Kim and Kanye don't just get the base model, even when it's ultra luxury. They try to get the premium stuff. And the Maybach that they have, they only sold 50 of these in the US. It's become extremely apparent that having just a regular Maybach isn't good enough for these two. And it costs them to the tune of about $400,000 to be this unique. And Kanye's got a bunch of other cars that we just don't have time to talk about, like an Aston Martin, some Ferraris, a bunch of cars that Kim has added to the collection. But this next one is a real stunner and has some pretty hilarious stories surrounding it. Let's just start by saying how f***ing cool this car is. It seriously looks like the brother of the Batmobile. Apparently Kim bought this car for Kanye for somewhere in the neighborhood of $750,000. And apparently when this super expensive car was being delivered to the garage, the mechanics accidentally closed the power gate on it. Aye. And that mistake left major scratches. But people, caution around a supercar that can rev to the moon and has 691 horsepower at its disposal. And plus, I mean, it costs $750,000. And I can tell you one thing, that if I had that car and I had an assistant, I'd never let my assistant drive my Aventador. And luckily, I've never had either, and I don't think I ever will, so I don't need to worry about it. So there's a glimpse into what a superstar like Kanye West drives. And it is extremely tough to price out the whole car collection, but if you take into account the cars that we've talked about and a ton of other rides in Kim and Kanye's collection, I think that the Wests are sitting on over $12 million worth of cars alone. And out of those, which one would you want to take on a joyride? And also let us know which other celebrity car collection videos you'd like to see. And if you're new here, my name's Brad Danger. Hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. And if you enjoyed the vid, hit the like button and also share with some of your friends. We're racing to 1 million subs and we'll see you there. This is Brad Danger signing off.